Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy today's episode.
Swish. The large characters on the letter disappeared suddenly without a trace within a few seconds of being exposed to the air. It was obviously written with some kind of special ink. Chen Beiyuan's eyes flashed with amusement, as if he had already guessed the identity of the person who wrote the letter. A strange smile appeared on the corner of his mouth, and a magic flame appeared from his fingertips, burning the white paper in his hand. She is an ambitious woman. While leaving a way out for himself, he didn't reveal too much. He was obviously preparing to sell it at a price, using the Ito family's plan as a bargaining chip. Of course, deep down in her heart, she must also have the idea of hedging her bets. Whoever wins will be helped. Donghua Academy, the residence of the Sakura Country Exchange Group. After the deputy envoy Ito Makoto was brought back to Sakura Country, the entire exchange group undoubtedly became the private residence of Jingu Fengyuan. Even the other people who had been surrounding Ito Makoto before quickly surrendered one after another under Jingu Fengyuan's methods and offered their loyalty. Even the list of Ito Makoto's previous bribes was gradually held by Jingu Fengyuan. And this undoubtedly makes Jingu Fengyuan even more proud. Jingu Yukino looked on with cold eyes, his eyes full of disdain. At this point, it's really stupid to still compete for such a small profit. I don't want to take back the rights belonging to the Jingu family from the Ito family, but I have been immersed in my own world. If the position of Sakura Kingdom's royal family is left in the hands of people like you, it will fall sooner or later. Jingu Yukino is undoubtedly extremely dissatisfied and disdainful of her eldest brother Jingu Fengyuan. Jingu Fengyuan is a person with little wisdom but no big plans. Although he is good at forbearing, he is prone to arrogance and is like a wolf in Zhongshan. She is an ambitious person and has had the ambition to regain the Jingu family since she was a child. As the royal family, the Jingu family has been suppressed by the Ito family for hundreds of years. They are almost like puppets. Only nominal prestige and substantive rights are left, which have been eroded by the Ito family. Although Sakura Country has a tradition of defeating superiors, no one wants to be the one being superior. When Jingu Yukino was a child, she admired her father Jinguji, thinking that he was the most powerful man, and even regarded him as a belief. But when she saw her father being humiliated by that old man Ito Ryu, he still had to smile apologetically, dared not speak out in anger, and even almost sent her mother to bed. At that moment, her inner faith was shattered. Instead, there is ambition for power, and status. Advertisement. She wants to make the Jingu family great again. This is undoubtedly a good dream. It's a pity that she is a woman. The Jingu family cannot allow a woman to be in power, nor can they allow a woman to ride on their head. In the eyes of those people, her role is to form a marriage alliance and strive for the best interests of the family. Under such circumstances, any attempt to show any ambition on her part would lead to unreasonable disaster. This undoubtedly nipped her ambition in the bud. Over the years, she has been looking for opportunities. Now, she finally saw it. If the Jingu family wants to escape control and regain power, they must get rid of the Ito family. If the Ito family is not eliminated, the Jingu family will always be puppets. The Ito family is a hungry wolf, and the Donghua Chen family is a ferocious tiger. As long as they operate properly, they can take advantage of the fire, even if they pay a small price. As long as we can make the Jingu family great again, everything will be worth it. In Jingu Yukino's heart, Chen Beiyuan is the most important person in her planning. She has been waiting for the other party's arrival. As long as the other party comes to her door, she will have the capital and initiative to negotiate. As long as the Chen family is willing to make corresponding commitments, she will never mind selling the Ito family and revealing all the Ito family's plans as a bargaining chip. However, in the next few days, she never waited for Chen Beiyuan's arrival. The letter I sent seemed to be lost in the sea. This undoubtedly made her heart freeze. Is it that Chen Beiyuan is not interested in what she has to say? Jingu Yukino guessed right. Chen Beiyuan was indeed not interested in this matter. In contrast, he was more interested in Jingu Yukino. From that letter, he saw Jingu Yukino's hidden ambition. He dared to say that Jingu Yukino contacted him about this matter without telling anyone from the Jingu family. A person who has no desires or demands means that he has no value of use. Advertisement. An ambitious and special person can be of great use at critical moments. When he saw the letter, Chen Beiyuan had an extremely bold idea in his mind. Jingu Yukino is this person. He is of great use. However, before using it, you need to show off the other person and get rid of their pride. It just so happens that Void Temple is coming soon. It's almost time. Chen Beiyuan stood on a tall building, looking at the blue sky, as if waiting for something. Based on his speculation, plus the description of the original work, Temple of the Void arrives today. Boom. Just as he finished speaking, the blue sky suddenly shattered like a huge mirror. Illusory palaces exuding terrifying coercion suddenly appeared out of thin air and descended all over the world, immediately causing countless people to exclaim, "What is that? An illusory palace appears in the sky? Wait a minute, that seems to be the legendary Void Temple." The body of Void Temple has always been hidden in the void. It is suspected to be the legendary 9th grade magic weapon. There are countless treasures hidden inside. Every once in a while, phantoms will be projected around the world in separate void orders. Those who obtain void order can enter it and gain opportunities. It is said that a lucky person once obtained the 8th grade magic weapon inside. Once it appears in the world, it will attract the attention of all forces. I think back then, all the countries in the world and those ferocious beasts and alien races all thought about taking Void Temple as their own, but unfortunately, they never succeeded. I just don't know what grade of Void Order the Void Temple produces this time. Void Order is divided into 9 levels. For 1st grade warriors and 9th grade war gods, the level of Void Order produced each time is different, which limits the cultivation level of the entrant. In an instant, in the eyes of the human race and alien beasts from all over the world, suspended in the sky, the door of the simple and majestic Void Temple suddenly shone brightly, and streams of strange divine light and strangely shaped void orders flew out. Those with sharp eyes instantly saw a 6 carved on the core of the void order. 6th grade void order. This time, only the 6th grade war king can enter the Void Temple. This will undoubtedly shock prodigy all over the world. 6th grade battle king. This is undoubtedly stuck at a very special joint point. Nowadays, most of the top human race prodigies in various countries are at the 6th grade level. Some of those who are slightly younger are mostly in the 5th grade stage. There is no doubt that this Temple of the Void will definitely attract top prodigy from all over the world to participate. Even ferocious beasts and alien races will take a hand. Void Temple contains terrifying resources and treasures, which is undoubtedly a huge opportunity for those top prodigy. Although it will definitely bring huge risks, opportunities and risks are inherently mutual. More importantly, Void Temple has a hidden benefit. That is, as time goes by, the difficulty of Void Temple will gradually increase, starting a time elimination system. The cultivator, who can persist to the end of the time elimination system in Void Temple, will receive the title of King of the Void and receive special gifts from the Void Temple. Chen Shanhe, the most powerful man in the Donghua Empire, defeated the prodigy of various countries 100 years ago, swept across the ferocious beasts and alien races, and finally won the title of King of the Void and received the temple gift. Chen Shanhe, who received the temple gift, broke through to 8th grade war emperor the following year and showed terrifying dominance at the same level. As soon as he broke through, he defeated many veteran war emperors and was promoted in just a few decades to the most powerful sequence. Bald Eagle Alliance, Los Santos. Grab the Void Order quickly. This is a once-in-a-century opportunity. If you can become the King of the Void and receive gifts from the temple, you can soar into the sky. Void Order, filled with strange divine light, instantly attracted countless people to fight for it. The violent fighting spirits collided with each other and swept away, and terrifying murderous intent spread in all directions. In an instant, someone was beaten into blood mist and fell directly on the spot. The opportunity of defying the heavens and changing fate is ahead, and even beloved friends and brothers are giving in. Anyone who dares to block the road will die. Roar. A huge and majestic golden lion head suddenly appeared out of thin air, roaring wildly, forming a violent vacuum wave. The dozen or so contenders in front who had no time to react were instantly shaken into large sheets of blood mist, mingling with each other. Even if some of the luckier contenders avoided the attack of the golden lion head, their internal organs were shaken by the terrifying sound waves. A large amount of blood spurted out of their mouths, their breath was weak, and they were seriously injured. Boom. The void order was directly grabbed by a rough hand. Advertisement. A tall figure with blonde hair and blue eyes, arrogant and unruly like a lion, with ferocious eyes holding a void order, ignored the shocked and angry expressions of the people around him and laughed ear-splittingly with a posture of being determined to win. Ha ha ha, the king of the void this time must be me, the Lion King Caesar. Sunfall Empire. The contenders who were fighting for the void order suddenly screamed one after another, and their bodies began to lose control. The blood in their bodies seemed to be controlled by some special force and began to run rampant. Why is my body out of control? Ah, my hand, my hand. Siete, who is it? If you can, get out of here. Damn it, it's that vampire lunatic from the Klein family. Bang, bang, bang. Countless bloody thorns suddenly sprouted from each contender's body, directly penetrating them from the inside out. There were mutilated corpses connected in series among the strange bloody thorns, suspended in midair, looking extremely horrifying. Swish! A giant black bat suddenly descended from the sky, holding the void token in its claws, and landed on the ground. I saw that the dark giant bat changed little by little, and finally turned into a pale young figure wearing a tuxedo, holding a gentleman's stick in his hand. A pair of vertical amber eyes looked coldly at the temple projection in the sky, with a hint of excitement and madness. With such a big commotion, a lot of monsters will definitely get in, and their blood will definitely be delicious. Slavic Empire. A frozen river of vodka. A naked figure as strong as a giant bear, with luxuriant hair all over his body and scars on his body, was holding a void token in his hand. Under his feet were broken corpses all over the place, including those of humans and beasts. I hope that the powerful people from all over the world who enter Void Temple this time can give me some surprises. Sakura Country. Donghua Empire. With the arrival of Void Temple, the top prodigy of the younger generation in the entire empire were also alarmed one after another. Bai Ruowei, Zhang Yunhua, Wang Daoxian, Wei Wushuang, Yi Chun. A battle for admission tickets begins instantly. Advertisement. No one wants to miss this opportunity. Even Lin Xiao, the son of fortune, has joined the battle at this moment. Swish. Void order, filled with strange light, turned into a stream of light and flew straight towards a tall building and happened to fall into a jade-like palm. Boy, hand over the void order. In an instant, many people were attracted by the owner of those hands, their eyes full of envy and jealousy, and they wanted to snatch it away. But when they saw the man's face, everyone present was stunned for a moment. Chen Beiyuan? In an instant, the atmosphere at the scene fell into a deathly silence. Swish. There was almost no hesitation, and the few people who came after Void Order turned around and ran away without hesitation. Void Order, no matter how good it is not as valuable as your own life and gold. Nowadays, Chen Beiyuan is already the strongest among the younger generation of Donghua Empire. Are they going to fight him with his head? Isn't this fatal? Persimmons need to be picked soft to pinch. This group of people chose to change their target without hesitation, and the direction they ran to was exactly where Lin Xiao was. From the beginning to the end, Chen Beiyuan did not raise his eyelids, but looked at the void order in his hand with interest. Immediately, he raised his eyes to look at the temple projection in the sky. A strange look flashed in his eyes. According to legend, the Void Temple is suspected to exist as a ninth-grade divine weapon, but there is indeed not enough evidence to confirm it. However, Chen Beiyuan, who has read the original work, knows that it is true. Temple of the Void is indeed a special ninth-grade weapon. The reason why the Void Temple suddenly appeared projected it all over the world and issued void orders, inviting powerful people from all races to enter. The purpose is to select a target with the greatest potential and recognize it as its owner. In the late stage of the plot, the master selected by Void Temple was son of fortune Lin Xiao, who had just broken through to the 8th grade war emperor. However, just when Lin Xiao was preparing to refine the Void Temple, he, the destined villain, appeared. At that time, he happened to become the first 9th grade god of war in the original work. As a result, Lin Xiao, the son of fortune, was not only beaten to death by him, but the Void Temple that was about to be refined was also snatched away by him, and the weapon spirit inside also changed into his shape. In a sense, Void Temple, this 9th grade weapon, has a lot of fate with him, the destined villain. I hope you won't disappoint me. Swish. Chen Beiyuan directly activated the Void Order in his hand, which turned into a stream of light and disappeared. Void Temple, Outer Hall. Young and powerful human race men with different hair colors, different skins, and different body shapes appeared one after another, all holding Void Token in their hands. These people all exude a terrifying aura far beyond those of the same level of powerhouses. Some of them seem to be only 6th grade war kings, but the aura they exude is even richer than that of 7th grade war kings. After the emergence of Void Temple, those who can snatch Void Order among the many contenders are almost all the core seeds of the top forces. Of course, it is not ruled out that some guys who are not strong but have special identities have obtained the Void Order, with the support of the forces behind them. As for a strong civilian who comes from a lower class background and has no background, that is naturally very few. After all, the starting line between the two parties is not the same. In just a few breaths, hundreds of figures appeared in the entire outer hall. However, these young and powerful men were all covered with a strange light at this moment, and their faces could not be seen clearly. Everyone looked at each other, but no one spoke first, and the scene instantly fell into a deathly silence. What's interesting is that even with the external threat of ferocious beasts and alien races, conflicts within human race countries still exist. There is never a shortage of mutual hostility and mutual stabbing. Living in harmony is almost a special luxury. If the Void Temple had not banned internal fighting, now the prodigy from various countries would be the first to start a fight. Once you enter the Void's secret realm, everyone will be a hidden opponent. Chen Beiyuan suddenly appeared in the temple. Looking up, he saw the figures of young prodigy whose faces could not be seen clearly. Although the face cannot be seen clearly, the pleasant aura is difficult to change, coupled with some obvious characteristics. Chen Beiyuan quickly locked onto the two charming figures in the crowd who were tall, plump, and noble in temperament. Their faces could not be seen clearly. Bai Ruowei, Zhang Yunhua. These two are old acquaintances, and there is no need to look at their faces. Even with their eyes closed and the lights turned off, Chen Beiyuan can spot them immediately. As for the young prodigies of the empire, such as Wang Daoxian, Wei Wushuang, Yi Chan, and Madman Zhu, he didn't remember them very well, and it would be difficult to recognize them. Suddenly, his eyes paused for a moment at a tall figure wearing a four-clawed python robe whose face could not be seen clearly, and he felt an inexplicable threat. Chen Beiyuan recognized this person's identity almost instantly. Zhang Yunfan, the crown prince of the Donghua Empire. Advertisement: the future heir of the royal Zhang family. Before Chen Beiyuan rose to power, he had always been the strongest being among the younger generation of the Donghua Empire, and has occupied the position of the first person of the younger generation for 20 consecutive years, which has never been shaken. It is not an exaggeration to say that such strength is unfathomable. However, after he rose up and penetrated the 7th floor of Soul Beast Tower, Jiang Yunfan's #1 position became shaky. The tall figure wearing a four-clawed python robe seemed to have noticed his gaze, and immediately seemed to have noticed his identity and nodded towards him, showing a friendly attitude. Chen Beiyuan also nodded in response. Except Jiang Yunfan, there were very few people present who could pose any threat to him. While he was sizing up the others were also sizing up the competitors around them in silence. Some young prodigy gathered together in a very tacit understanding. Of course, there are also lone wolves with strong self-control who still stay alone. The atmosphere gradually became strange and solemn. However, the special figures that were teleported in next moment broke the solemn scope of the scene. Those figures were strangely shaped, filled with the aura of blood, and exuded a fierce and violent aura. Just by looking at it, many young prodigy present felt a sense of threat coming over them with their hair standing on end. Even though these guys' faces and most of their physical features were covered by the strange divine light, many prodigy of the human race present recognized their identities instantly. Ferocious beasts, alien races. Moreover, there are also some high-level ferocious beasts and aliens with powerful bloodlines. In an instant, the faces of the prodigy of the human race, who had been wary and hostile to each other just now, changed slightly, and their eyes became cold. It's these bastards again. That's right, these bastards have sharper noses than dogs. As long as there is something good, these bastards are always indispensable. These are going crazy and will even kill their own people. Be careful, guys. Jia, I didn't expect to see so many delicious blood foods. The last time I saw so many delicious blood foods was when we conquered the Mayan kingdom. Those pretentious blood foods ran faster than rabbits when they saw the city was broken. Human beings are weak and incompetent creatures. As long as you kill a few leaders, the rest of the people will kneel on the ground and beg for mercy like sheep. Advertisement. I still remember that the king of the Mayan kingdom was very tough at that time. His head was cut off without even a wrinkle, but the heir he chose was a bit of a loser. He was so scared that he peed on the spot. Ha ha ha. The queen of the Mayan kingdom originally planned to die for her country with that old guy, but I just threatened her with her useless son, and she surrendered obediently. TSK, 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 that woman's taste is definitely apex level. It's a pity. He died after playing for only 3 days and 3 nights. Human beings are really fragile creatures, accompanied by the unscrupulous sounds of these ferocious beasts and alien races. All the prodigy of the human race present turned extremely ugly. The Mayan kingdom, as these ferocious aliens call it, is the top power of the human race and an important member of the Human Race Alliance. It is one of the ancient civilizations as famous as the Donghua Empire. However, 100 years ago, the Mayan country was suddenly invaded by aliens. Overnight, the country was destroyed and countless Mayans died tragically. The king of the Mayan kingdom, the 8th Great War Emperor, was beheaded. His head was collected by a foreign king, and his body was eaten by many foreign races. The Mayan king's queen was insulted by the aliens and eventually died tragically. In order to survive, the prince of the Mayan kingdom not only sold his mother, but also became a slave to a foreign race, betraying many of the secrets of the human race. 3 years later, he was worthless and boiled as a 2-legged sheep. Today, the old site of the Mayan kingdom is still in the hands of foreigners. There is no doubt that the demise of the Mayan kingdom severely slapped the Human Race Alliance into a big mouth. A once top power fell and died overnight. The entire Human Race Alliance member states didn't even have time to support. This kind of thing is nothing short of a fantasy. According to this, today it can be Maya, tomorrow it can be a bald eagle, and acquired can be Donghua. There must be something hidden in this. There can be infighting within human race. But in front of the ferocious beasts and alien races, we must remain consistent with the outside world. Just when the atmosphere became tense, not far away, Bai Ruowei and Zhang Yunhua suddenly walked towards Chen Beiyuan, as if they recognized him. In fact, it is not difficult to recognize Chen Beiyuan. At a glance, there is a person in the crowd who always stands with his hands behind his back, with a straight waist, graceful demeanor, extraordinary appearance, and looks like a king. 9 times out of 10, it is him. If you get stuck, if you get a serious stuck, your life will be worse than death. And after working for a whole day, I finally have time to code. Well, these are just some of the factors. In fact, the real reason is that Bai Ruowei sensed Chen Beiyuan's aura through Bai Zhe battle spirit and determined his location. Although Zhang Yunhua doesn't have as terrifying a sense as Bai Ruowei, she's very familiar with Chen Beiyuan's smell. As for how familiar it is, as soon as I smell it, I feel like I am very angry and need to extinguish the urge. It can be said that the familiarity between these two people with Chen Beiyuan is almost engraved in their bones. However, what Bai Ruowei and Zhang Yunhua didn't know was that before them, someone had instantly recognized Chen Beiyuan when they entered the Void Temple. That was a certain son of fortune named Lin Xiao. For Lin Xiao, not to mention that Chen Beiyuan's face was obscured by the strange light, he could still recognize Chen Beiyuan even if he turned into ashes. In a sense, his love for Chen Beiyuan may be more than that of the two lucky heroines Bai Ruowei and Zhang Yunhua. Chen Beiyuan. Lin Zhao's eyes were full of poisonous threads, and his breathing became rapid, but he suppressed the resentment in his heart and did not look at the other party, so as not to arouse the other party's vigilance. The previous humiliation in the Black Jail, plus the humiliation given to him by Lin Zhuoxiao, all added up, were not as high as his hatred for Chen Beiyuan. He knew very well that Chen Beiyuan was the real culprit behind why he ended up in the situation he is in today. Without Chen Beiyuan's repeated suppression, he would not be where he is today. Over and over again, he abandoned his armor. First, he lost his crush on the goddess Leng Ruobing, and then he lost his beloved godfather Qian Baizong. After that, he lost opportunities many times, and even lost himself countless times. When he was bullied by several tall Taoren in the dark prison, his hatred for Chen Beiyuan almost reached its peak. Even at that time, he mistook the Taoren leader who bullied him as Chen Beiyuan, and finally relied on flattery and obedience to poison him with the power of words. When he poisoned the opponent, Lin Xiao felt that his soul had been sublimated, and he even touched the threshold of the 6th grade War King, just missing the final kick. Advertisement. Right now, I am no match for Chen Beiyuan in terms of strength or background, so I need to bear with it for the time being. In terms of strength, I am almost breaking through the 6th grade champion and catching up with Chen Beiyuan. In terms of background, I can now use means to influence Lin Zhuoxiao for my own use. At critical moments, I can borrow part of the Lin family's power. As long as the Void Temple can get enough benefits this time, the gap between Chen Beiyuan and I will be narrowed little by little. At that time, it will be time to counterattack. It has to be said that at this moment, Lin Zhao's character is gradually approaching the cunning poison dragon. But what he didn't know at this moment was that the demonic thoughts on his shoulders were seeing all his dark emotions. At this moment, a special commotion suddenly appeared, attracting Lin Zhao's attention. When he saw what happened in front of him, he burst into ecstatic laughter. Ha ha ha, Chen Beiyuan, you also have today, now I want to see what you do. I saw a huge alien figure with a body shape suddenly blocking the path forward of Bai Ruowei and Zhang Yunhua, staring greedily at the two women in front of them. Jia, I didn't expect to meet two supreme grade beauties in this kind of place. The taste of your flesh and blood must be very wonderful. Although this alien was covered in a layer of strange divine light, its specific appearance could not be seen clearly. It can be seen from the little silver-white hair showing on its body, a pair of erect wolf ears on its head, plus the fact that it is tall but not bloated, and it also habitually bends its waist. This should be a powerful alien from the Silver Wolf clan. Silver wolves are one of the top alien races. They are born with the power to control the moonlight. They are cruel and lustful. They like to plunder and humiliate human women, and then eat them bit by bit to satisfy their perverted desires. As a top alien race, the Silver Wolf tribe naturally has alien kings comparable to the 8th grade War Emperor. At this moment, this alien creature from the Silver Wolf clan was obviously eyeing Bai Ruowei and Zhang Yunhua. The movement here naturally attracted everyone's attention instantly. In an instant, Someone recognized the identity of this alien silver wolf who was looking for trouble. It's that guy from Braga, the Silver Wolf King's favorite youngest son. Advertisement. This guy is notoriously lecherous. The Queen of Maya was tortured by this guy for 3 days and 3 nights. In the end, she was even buried in a wolf's kiss. This guy seems to have been eyeing his father's concubines some time ago, and he almost got castrated. TSK, TSK, TSK. He is a master who can't control his lower body. Now it's fun. Being targeted by this guy Braga, these 2 human women will probably be worse than dead. Listening to the unbridled laughter of the ferocious beasts and alien races around them, the faces of all the prodigy of the human race present sank. Among them, there was a figure wearing a dark cloak whose appearance could not be clearly seen, but a figure with a plump and sexy figure could be vaguely seen. When he heard that the Queen of Maya was tortured and killed, he couldn't help but clenched his fists. A pair of amber eyes looked at Braga's back, as if there was a slight murderous intention. Wang Daoxian, Wei Wuxiang, Madman Zhu, and Yi Chun, the top prodigies of the Donghua Empire, also recognized through their auras that the 2 people surrounded by Silver Wolf Prince were Bai Ruowei and Jiang Yunhua. Their faces instantly became ugly, and they wanted to step forward to stop. Not far away, Jiang Yunfan, the heir to the imperial royal family, also turned cold and walked towards Braga. However, someone was 1 step ahead of them. The cold, triangular eyes of Silver Wolf Prince Braga seemed to have penetrated the obstruction of the strange divine light and saw the stunning appearance of the 2 people in front of him with a greedy expression on his face. 2 beauties. At this moment, it didn't notice that Jiang Yunhua and Bai Ruowei looked at it as if they were looking at a dead person. If the Void Temple had not banned fighting, these 2 lucky heroines could have twisted its head off. Among the female protagonists of Luck, these 2 are the most capable. However, something strange suddenly appeared on their faces, and both pairs of beautiful eyes looked behind Braga. Noisy. Before Braga could finish speaking, a huge force suddenly came from behind, knocking it out and slamming it into the ground. The next step is to enter the Void's secret realm and start the classic plot of Shuangwen. Kill, 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 kill. Chen Beiyuan took his hand back expressionlessly. If it weren't for the 9th grade divine weapon, Void Temple, that prohibits fighting, he could directly twist off the head of Silver Wolf Prince Braga. Beiyuan. Beiyuan. Bai Ruowei and Jiang Yunhua walked towards him in unison, one on the left and one on the right, sandwiching him in the middle. Although the strange divine light covered their beautiful faces, it could not hide the fiery gazes they looked at him. However, Chen Beiyuan's move undoubtedly caused the already solemn atmosphere at the scene to boil instantly. The aliens and ferocious beasts who were arrogant and domineering just now saw the Silver Wolf Prince throw a dog and eat shit, and his expression suddenly changed slightly, as if he had been slapped hard. Human, you are seeking death. One was similar in size to Braga and had dark silver hair on his body. He was obviously an alien from the Silver Wolf clan. Seeing his prince being humiliated, Prodigy suddenly became furious and howled like a wolf. Several prodigy from the Silver Wolf clan suddenly gathered around it and walked towards Chen Beiyuan and the others little by little, trying to surround them. Some alien prodigy who were friends with the Silver Wolf clan also came over at this moment, trying to put pressure on Chen Beiyuan and the others. However, they obviously missed one thing. Chen Beiyuan is not alone. He is from the Donghua Empire. You bastards, you dare to bully our Donghua Empire people. Who gave you the courage? If you want to play, wait until you enter the Void secret realm. I'll play with you, you bunch of eggless bastards. The burly madman Zhu stood directly in front of the Silver Wolf prodigy. Although his face was covered by the strange divine light, he could not hide the unruly tone in his words. If you want to fight, I, the Donghua Empire, will accompany you to the end. Wang Daoxian, who was dressed in a black Taoist robe and had a vicissitudes of life, also stood up with a bad look on his face. Ahem, cough, cough. It seems that there will be a lot more alien puppet collections this time. I hope your corpses can withstand it better. Wei Wuxiang, who was pale and coughing like crazy, stared at the foreigner in front of him with cold eyes. It seems that the Donghua Empire hasn't given you any pain in these years. I still think that the current Donghua Empire is still the same as it was 100 years ago. If you dare to step on anything, if you dare to reach out, your head will be chopped off. Yichun, Qin Shaoxi, Zhou Shaoxian. One by one, the top prodigies of the Donghua Empire stood up and directly confronted the aliens in front of them, tit for tat. Advertisement. These foreigners were not allowed to get even half a step closer to Chen Beiyuan. Lin Xiao looked at the scene in front of him in disbelief. He never expected that so many people would stand up for Chen Beiyuan. You know, among those who came forward, there were some who couldn't deal with Chen Beiyuan. How could they come forward at this time? This undoubtedly put some of his dark thoughts to rest. Lin Xiao, who came from a lower-class background, was obviously still limited by his vision and structure and could not clearly see the current situation. Within the Donghua Empire, the top aristocratic families can fight to the death and plot against each other. But when dealing with the outside world, we must be united and united. Silver Wolf Prince Braga's behavior of blocking Bai Ruowei and Zhang Yunhua just now is undoubtedly a slap in the face of all Donghua Empire prodigy present. This has already touched upon the bloody issue of the nation. If the Donghua people don't even have this kind of blood, but choose to sit on the sidelines, let it develop, and only care about themselves, then there is really no hope for this empire. People can be selfish, but they cannot forget their roots. At this moment, the tacit understanding and unity shown by the Donghua people will undoubtedly change the prodigy of other countries. Even many foreigners present could not help but recall some bad memories. Under the protection of the strange divine light, Silver Wolf Prince Braga did not suffer any harm even though he fell and was a little embarrassed. All the power was offset by the Void Temple. This is the dominance of the 9th grade weapon, Temple of the Void. Here, even if the 8th grade War Emperor takes action, he cannot even kill a weak and humble ant. However, even so, it would undoubtedly be a huge embarrassment to lose face in front of everyone. Silver Wolf Prince Braga slowly stood up and looked around with his cold triangular eyes, looking at the tribesmen who were blocked from the periphery. His eyes became colder and colder. The handsome wolf face covered with silver-white hair instantly became ferocious and terrifying. Its expression became twisted and jealous, and its hot breath foreshadowed its anger. It walked towards Chen Beiyuan step by step, staring condescendingly at Chen Beiyuan in front of him. Its split snout revealed its sharp fangs, and traces of sticky, foul-smelling liquid dripped onto the ground. Just when it was about to approach, the silent Void Temple suddenly glowed with a faint blue light. A cold voice with endless majesty suddenly appeared. Advertisement. Void's secret realm is about to open. All Voidwalkers, please be prepared and keep your own Void order properly. Voidwalker, get ready to start the killing journey. The more Void tokens you get, the more treasures you will be able to exchange from the Void Temple. Voidwalkers who obtain 20 Void tokens within 7 days will enter the next round of tests. The Voidwalker who can persevere to the end and complete all Void tests will receive the title of Void King and receive gifts from the temple. Starting Void teleportation. As the cold voice of the Void Temple fell, the strange divine light that filled everyone present began to bloom with a strange brilliance. A force of void movement instantly blessed everyone. Seeing the unexpected incident, Braga suppressed the frustration and anger in his heart and stared coldly at Chen Beiyuan in front of him. Chen Beiyuan? The heir to the Donghua Chen family. Very good. I will remember you. Once you enter the Void Temple, I will definitely kill you. At this time, even if you send these 2 women here, it will be useless. I will let you know the consequences of offending this uncle. There's so much nonsense. Your dog's head will be stored on your neck for now. When the time comes, I will twist it off myself. Chen Beiyuan directly interrupted Braga's nonsense and said straightforwardly. At the same time, he quietly put something into the hands of Zhang Yunhua and Bai Ruowei. Swish! The power of the void flashed. Everyone in the entire outer hall disappeared without a trace. At the last moment of being teleported, Chen Beiyuan seemed to have glanced somewhere in the void temple inadvertently. A long time. Suddenly, an illusory figure filled with strange divine light appeared in the silent void temple. His face could not be seen clearly, but his figure was very impressive. There seemed to be a trace of doubt and surprise in her eyes. Strange, did he find me? In the morning, a group of leaders came over to inspect the work, leaving the author no time to fish. In the afternoon, he had to be arrested to work. "Ah, I just want to fish." This illusory figure whose face could not be seen clearly was also a little surprised. She knew very well that Chen Beiyuan's seemingly unintentional glance just now was actually looking at the place where she often hides. This is a bit scary. You know, she is the weapon spirit of the Void Temple. Even the 8th grade War Emperor cannot detect her existence. How could a brat like the 6th grade War King find out about her existence? What a hell. Void's secret realm. Chen Beiyuan's figure suddenly appeared in a dense ancient forest. The surrounding vast trees all rise from the ground like giant pillars, covering the sky and swallowing up all the light in the sky, giving people a shock from the soul. Compared to the real world, the spirit chi permeating the air in the Void's secret realm is at least 10 times higher. If someone were to practice here, their cultivation speed would be at least 10 times that of the real world. With 10 times the training speed, even a useless person can catch up with the pace of a genius. Such terrifying benefits can be described as appalling. However, Chen Beiyuan, who was alone, looked as usual, as if he had expected it. Having read the plot of the original work, he naturally knew the situation in advance. Plus, he had read the corresponding records of the family, so naturally he would not be surprised. The dark and deep eyes flashed with a strange color at this moment. In the original work, the temple weapon spirit always likes to hide behind the jade pillar in the center of the outer hall, secretly spying on people who enter the void temple. The glance I just gave must have scared her and left a big impression on her. In this case, the next few things will be easier to handle. The teleportation in the void temple is random. In most cases, they are separated and let go to avoid getting together. They are rarely together. It is normal that Bai Ruowei and Zhang Yunhua are not here. If I guessed correctly, this should be the Forest of 10,000 Beasts, located in the south of the secret realm of the Void. It seems that I was lucky and was randomly teleported to a good start. Advertisement. There are a lot of good things hidden in the 10,000 Beasts Forest. The Ingsho fruit and marrow cleansing fruit I need happen to be near the 10,000 Beasts Forest. According to the plot of the original work, these two treasures should mature and bear fruit in the next few days. Before that, I can go get some other things first. I remember that there is an incomplete 8th-grade magic weapon, Ancient Dragon-Slaying Bow, hidden in a red dragon demon cave in the 10,000 Beasts Forest. This thing was the ancient clan's weapon back then. One of the killing treasures developed for Dragon Race, and it is matched with the Ancient Prisoner Dragon Lock. Ancient Dragon Prison Lock traps the dragon's body, making it unable to move, and makes it easy to capture. Ancient Dragon Slaying Bow tears the dragon's scales, destroys the dragon's body, and kills the dragon's soul. The combination of the two is the greatest weapon for slaying the dragon. Chen Beiyuan had previously obtained the 8th-grade divine weapon, Ancient Prisoner Dragon Lock, from the system reward. Now if we can get the Ancient Dragon Slaying Bow again and cooperate with it, we will undoubtedly have a powerful trump card. Because of the little silly dragon Anu, Chen Beiyuan is facing off against the dragon race of Walong Island. It is also good to prepare countermeasures in advance. Of course, in Chen Beiyuan's heart, it was not for the little silly dragon Anu. No, it should be said that it was prepared by the blood-stricken Dragon Emperor after his rebirth. After rebirth, will the bloody Dragon Emperor who has regained his memory still be the little silly dragon Anu he is now? He looked at the sleeping little silly dragon Anu deep in his soul, and a hint of complexity flashed through his gloomy eyes. I hope this method will not be used on you. Silent Valley. Bai Ruowei, dressed in white, suddenly appeared in a dark cave, instantly alarming the owner of the dark cave. It was a ferocious earth bear that was as big as a hill and covered with rough khaki fur, with thick fat accumulated under the fur. This is a powerful 6th-grade ferocious beast. It is notoriously crazy and has a terrifying sense of territory. Even if a giant dragon enters its territory, it dares to fight. Let's not talk about whether we can win or not. We must fight. However, unexpectedly, after a brief period of rage, this terrestrial bear gradually calmed down, and its gaze towards Bai Ruowei gradually became softer, even a little more intimate. "Sorry for disturbing your sleep." Bai Ruowei's beautiful face showed a hint of apology. She stretched out her hand, touched the head of the earthly bear, and said comfortingly, "What's even more shocking is that the geomaniac, which is always known for its bad temper, actually showed some expression of enjoyment and made a low and cheerful sound from its mouth and nose. This is the terrifying thing about Bai Ruowei. This destined heroine with Bai Zhe battle spirit is born with some kind of power of closeness to all things, which can make most creatures put down their hostility towards her." Advertisement. However, when the snow-white fox in her arms looked at the gentle expression of its owner and the obsessed look of the silly big man, it suddenly trembled, as if it remembered something terrible, and quickly lowered its head. After calming down the Earth Fury Bear, Bai Ruowei took out the things that Chen Beiyuan had quietly stuffed into her. It was a piece of paper. It records some of the special opportunities of the Void Temple. Chen Beiyuan knew very well that it would be difficult for him to cover all the secret realms in the entire Void secret realm by himself. He doesn't have that much time either. In this case, it is better to share some of the profits with your own people. More importantly, isn't Bai Ruowei's his? Of course, Chen Beiyuan would not take out those extremely special and important opportunities, only the next level ones. But even so, it was enough to make Bai Ruowei amazed. Some of the chance hidden treasures marked on this piece of paper are of great use to her. Some of these things are even treasures that have been lost for a long time. Bai Ruowei looked at the white paper in her hand. A strange ripple flashed through her charming eyes. Obviously, he didn't expect Chen Beiyuan to be able to obtain such detailed information. He obviously spent a lot of effort. These opportunities, even if she gets one or two, can make her undergo earth-shaking changes. Suddenly, she lowered her head and gently sniffed the remaining body temperature and breath of Chen Beiyuan on the paper. That gorgeous and charming face suddenly revealed an expression of obsession and murmured to herself, "Beiyuan." Compared with being in front of Beiyuan, you need to be more reserved. At this moment, she has undoubtedly released some of her hidden side. Wait, Beiyuan is still young and cannot scare him yet. After they get married, that's it. When the time comes, she will be on top. After a brief period of obsession, Bai Ruowei returned to her previous demeanor of a royal sister and goddess. Of course, it cannot be ruled out that the remaining breath and body temperature on the paper have dissipated. According to the message Beiyuan left me, this should be the Silent Valley. There is a silent rough stone hidden deep in the canyon, which happens to be one of the important auxiliary materials that can be used as an 8th-grade magic weapon. Is that silent stone hidden at the bottom of a spring deep in the Silent Valley? It is undoubtedly a huge difficulty to find a water spring in a huge valley, but what if there is help from the indigenous people? Good boy, can you take me to the nearby spring? Bai Ruowei smiled sweetly, looked at the violent earth bear in front of her, and said in a gentle tone, "The geoglyph bear, which has always been known for its bad temper and frequent fits of madness, instantly transformed into a boiling bear." He nodded repeatedly with a look of obsession, abandoned his home nest and deep hibernation without hesitation, and began to lead the way. Party. Bai Zhe, the innate amiability of all things, can make many evil creatures put down their hostility, turn enemies into friends, and subconsciously regard them as the closest existence. This is a terrifying talent that is more domineering than a simple charm. This is why in the original work, Fairy Bai is always confident that she can transform old Demon Chun. Soon, under the leadership of Boiling Bear, Bai Ruowei soon found a remote spring hidden deep in the Silent Valley. A certain Boiling Bear ignored the aversion to water deep in his bloodline and took the initiative to jump into the water spring. He forcefully fished out the silent stone, hidden in the deepest part, and delivered it to by Ruowei's hands. Good obedient children should be rewarded. This bowl of wine is just compensation for disturbing your hibernation. After Bai Ruowei put away the silent stone, she looked at the wet and dirty earth bear in front of her eyes, with a lot of mud stuck to her hair and an expectant look on her face, but she had no idea of having S*X for free. She thought for a while, then pointed her finger, and with some luck, a rough stone bowl suddenly formed on the ground. The Schutten gourd, hanging on the waist, directly poured out a bowl of wine containing surging vitality and placed it in front of the earth-violent bear as a reward. This auxiliary 7th-grade magic weapon is combined with the Bai family's secret wine recipe, and the brewed wine has great appeal and effect on ferocious beasts. The earth-bearing bear looked at the wine with a special aroma in front of him in disbelief, pointed at the wine bowl, and then pointed at himself. After seeing Bai Ruowei smile and nod, he drank the wine in one gulp with a moved expression. Soon, the aura on its body became deeper and thicker. Good boy, I need your help to lead the way. Bai Ruowei held the snow-white fox in her arms and headed towards the next place of opportunity with the Earth Fury Bear leading the way. Advertisement. With the support of Bai Zai's talent and Chen Beiyuan's information, Bai Ruowei's treasure hunting speed is definitely the best among the others. However, at this moment, Bai Ruowei did not notice that behind them, an elusive and tall figure was silently watching their retreating figures. A steep cliff filled with the stench of blood and covered with the corpses of countless ferocious beasts. Jiang Yunhua was looking at the contents of the note in his hand carefully. A pair of beautiful eyes showed expressions of amazement one after another, obviously also amazed by Chen Beiyuan's generosity. The content on the paper seems brief, but the value it contains is indescribable. Although she didn't know where Chen Beiyuan got the message. But due to her trust in Beiyuan, she naturally chose to believe unconditionally. However, what Jiang Yunhua didn't know at this moment was that the content of the note in her hand was obviously much less than that of Bai Ruowei. Obviously, Chen Beiyuan is also aware of Bai Ruowei's speciality in this regard. This is the Blood Moon Cliff, located to the south of the Void Secret Realm. There happens to be a blood moon fruit, condensed from the flesh and blood essence of countless dead ferocious beasts. For cultivators, this thing is the supreme tool for body tempering. Saint Grade is also of great benefit to me. However, there is a blood moon python dormant in the place where the blood moon fruit gathers. It will take some effort to do so. Compared with Bai Ruowei's special talent, she can draw on the power of the indigenous people. Jiang Yunhua no longer has this ability, so he can only use stupid methods to find the blood moon fruit. However, what she didn't know at this moment was that on the other side of the Blood Moon Cliff, there was a giant wolf covered with silver-white hair and walking upright sniffing for something. This silver-white giant wolf is surprisingly the former silver wolf Prince Braga. I smell a familiar smell. Border desert. What the hell is this place? Lin Xiao looked at the endless hot desert in front of him and the cold wind that kept whistling past, and his face suddenly became extremely ugly. At this moment, he could clearly feel that there was no life in this desert, as if it was a forgotten area. Advertisement. He was extremely unlucky to be transported to such a ghostly place at the beginning. It's not like this ghost place is hiding some special opportunity. However, what Lin Xiao didn't know at this moment was, beneath the desert, a majestic and silent palace is buried deep at this moment. Deep in the palace, a simple ring placed on the throne suddenly trembled, and the soul hidden inside seemed to sense something. After hundreds of years, a living person has finally been transported here. Click. Inside the dark and hot cave, one head was red all over, covered with tough scales, burning with terrifying heat. The behemoth with a head that looked like a dragon was suddenly crushed by a jade-like hand. Its huge eyes dimmed instantly, and the burning flames all over its body gradually dissipated. Quickly lost vitality. This is the 15th Red Dragon Demon's Cave. I hope the goddess of fate can favor me this time. Chen Beiyuan casually put the body of the Red Dragon Demon in his hand into the system space, with a hint of complexity in his eyes. Even though he knew that the incomplete 8th grade magic weapon, ancient dragon-slaying bow, was hidden in the red dragon demon cave. But ferocious beasts like the red dragon demon, which contains some dragon race blood, are also relatively common ferocious beasts in the 10,000 Beasts forest. It's really unrealistic to find it all at once. He has searched more than 10 red dragon demon caves in a row, but has not found the target. Now, all we can do is continue to try our luck. I just hope that I can find the incomplete 8th grade magic weapon as soon as possible. As for snatching 20 void orders and entering the next round of tests, Chen Beiyuan is not in a hurry. In the past few days, he will not take the initiative to grab the void order. After the others have been fighting and robbing each other, and they have been fattened up one by one, he will take action and harvest them one by one. Chen Beiyuan walked step by step towards the depths of the Red Dragon Demon's cave. The Red Dragon Demon is a strange, ferocious beast that likes high temperatures and lives underground. It has an appearance close to that of a dragon, but also has the habits of a snake. The cave it is in is not as humid as other ferocious beast caves, but is very dry, even boiling hot. Pieces of fiery red and shiny flint emitted scorching heat and dazzling light, directly illuminating the entire dark cave. As he went deeper, Chen Beiyuan felt that the dragon race bloodline in his body began to feel a little restless, as if he had noticed something. "Looks like I'm lucky." Chen Beiyuan paused in his steps. A dark light seemed to flash through his eyes, and a smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. I saw that in the depths of the cave, there were now rows of orange-red eggs of ferocious beasts, as well as a huge skeleton of a giant beast. These orange-red ferocious beast eggs are clearly the descendants of the female red dragon demon just now. As for the huge beast skeleton, it was its husband, a male red dragon demon. The red dragon demon has a very special method of reproduction. When the female red dragon demon is an estrus, she will attract the male red dragon demon through the smell of urine. Afterwards, the female red dragon demon will kill the weak male red dragon demon and eat it bit by bit, using the power of its flesh and blood to give birth to offspring. However, Chen Beiyuan was not interested in the dead male red dragon demon. On the contrary, he was very interested in the curved white jade that vaguely appeared on the spine of the huge skeleton. When he saw the curved white jade, Chen Beiyuan could clearly feel an undisguised disgust in the dragon race bloodline in his body. Obviously, he found what he was looking for. Chen Beiyuan stepped forward slowly and grasped the piece of curved white jade with one hand. The veins on his hand popped out. It was comparable to a 7th grade magic weapon, and the terrifying divine power that was comparable to dragon race at the same level suddenly erupted. Bang! A piece of crescent white jade was suddenly pulled out from the spine of the huge corpse, and the terrifying force instantly shattered the entire white bone corpse. Boom! Chen Beiyuan ignored the huge skeleton that collapsed, but stared at the crescent white jade in his hand. I saw that the entire surface of the crescent white jade was covered with tiny cracks, as if it had suffered some kind of heavy blow. Advertisement. But even so, it still exudes a gleaming light and a heavy and terrifying pressure. Finally found you. Chen Beiyuan's mouth curled up slightly, as if he didn't care about the cracks on the surface of the crescent white jade. The prison-suppressing demonic energy in his body surged crazily towards the crescent white jade. The crescent white jade in his hand actually seeped out strange bloodshot bit by bit, dyeing the entire white jade red bit by bit, and began to undergo strange changes. The desperate wails of giant dragons before they died seemed to echo in his mind one after another. An overwhelming resentment began to emerge from the crescent white jade in his hand. Boom! In an instant, the crescent white jade became contaminated by the terrifying resentment, turning into a dark, gray, sinuous, and ominous bow with countless cracks. Ancient dragon-slaying bow, 8th grade divine weapon, incomplete, developed by ancient clan during the ancient times. It is a killing treasure specially designed to restrain dragon race. It has the power of slaying dragons. Later, due to special reasons, the divine weapon was damaged, and dragon race was powerful. The person cursed with the resentment of the dead dragon soul, causing the divine object to be covered in dust and no longer have its former glory. Under the curse of many dragon race experts, anyone who uses this unknown bow will be eroded by the curse of their dragon soul resentment. Note, this magic weapon is seriously damaged and may collapse at any time. Chen Beiyuan, who was holding the ancient dragon-slaying bow, at this moment, could clearly feel the thickness and roughness of its bow body. The special dragon patterns carved on the dark bow all indicate the resentment of the dragon souls of the powerful dragon race who are dying one after another. Among them, the 8th grade dragon emperor has more than one dragon soul resentment. What a dragon-slaying bow! If it were in its prime, I don't know how elegant it would be. The ancient clan is indeed the race that is most proficient in weapon cultivation. Chen Beiyuan's eyes flashed with emotion. The dragon-slaying divine bow was so badly damaged that it would be difficult to use it several times. It would be very difficult to restore it, unless the ancient clan people could be found. But the ancient clan people have been extinct for who knows how many years. Although it is a pity, this can be regarded as adding a powerful trump card to him. Now that you have the dragon-slaying bow, it's time to leave. Putting away the ancient dragon-slaying bow, Chen Beiyuan planned to leave the Red Dragon Demon Cave. Advertisement. Of course, before leaving, he did not forget to collect the densely packed red dragon eggs in front of him. As a ferocious beast with part of the dragon race bloodline, the Red Dragon Demon is not only very powerful, but also proficient in the art of escaping from the earth, making it a very good pet beast. Whether it is for the children of the Chen family or as a gift for your fiancé, it is a good choice. At this moment, Chen Beiyuan suddenly felt a throbbing of blood, and the dragon race blood in his body began to stir crazily. The evil blood dragon mark between his eyebrows began to emit a strange blood light. Deep in his soul, the sleeping little silly dragon Anu seemed to have experienced some special mutation, and his whole body began to be covered in blood-colored light. Swish! A ray of blood suddenly shot out from Chen Beiyuan's eyebrows. In Chen Beiyuan's surprised eyes, it actually turned into a huge dragon egg with blood-colored lines out of thin air. Boom! The blood-colored dragon egg hit the ground directly, sinking deeply into the ground, making a loud and slow heartbeat. What's going on? Is it possible that Anu is going to advance to the 7th grade beast? The dragon's blood Dao fruit she ate before was not so strong. Wait a minute, this scene seems a little special. Could it be that she is? Chen Beiyuan's pupil shrank, as if he thought of something. Looks like the plans are about to change. Blood Moon Cliff. Along with a phoenix cry that resounded throughout the heaven and earth, the terrifying phoenix true fire swept everywhere in an instant, swallowing everything. A charming figure bathed in hot flames, exuding endless majesty, was radiating dazzling light wantonly. Behind her, an illusory fire phoenix looked up to the sky and screamed. Boom! In an instant, the corpses and bones on the entire sheer cliff were burned to nothingness. A huge wolf shadow with a burnt black body and a strange burnt aroma was running wildly at this moment, avoiding the pursuit of the flames behind it. Damn it! How could this woman be so powerful? Not only did she awaken the phoenix fighting spirit, but she also mastered the phoenix true fire. What was running around crazily was none other than the previously arrogant and domineering silver wolf Prince Braga. At this moment, it no longer had the arrogance it had in the Void Temple, but instead looked embarrassed. Not only was the gorgeous silver fur burned black, but even his most beloved tail became bare. At a glance, it looks like a big black mouse running around crazily. Originally, after Braga was teleported to Blood Moon Cliff by the Void Temple, he smelled Jiang Yunhua's breath with his keen sense of smell. He suddenly became lustful and wanted to catch this woman and take revenge on Chen Beiyuan. It's a pity that dreams are good, but reality is cruel. Jiang Yunhua, who has the body of a fire phoenix, possesses the phoenix fighting soul, and can master the true fire of the phoenix, is not as weak as he imagined, and can even be said to be extremely terrifying. Among all the lucky heroines, she was born in the royal Jiang family, and her strength can be said to be second to none. In the early and middle stages of the plot, before Leng Ruobing got the Emperor Gu, She and Bai Ruowei were both strong candidates to compete for the first place in the heroine's strength. She is not comparable to Leng Ruobing's vase. Nowadays, among her peers, there are only a few who can surpass her. Among these few candidates, Braga, the Silver Wolf Prince, is definitely not included. It has hit the iron plate. Ah. My tail is my most powerful weapon to attract the opposite S**X. How dare you? How dare you? Damn woman, if it weren't for daytime and my strength wasn't fully unleashed, how could I have been defeated? Be***H, when I gather the rest of the Silver Wolf tribe, I will definitely kill you. Braga roared crazily as he lost the battle to the wolf. Swish. With a burst of silver moonlight, Braga, who used his bloodline talent, instantly turned into a shadow of the moonlight and fled, disappearing without a trace. The Silver Wolf tribe is a special alien race that can naturally master the power of moonlight. During the day, their strength does not increase much. But once darkness falls, their strength will increase significantly after being illuminated by the moonlight. At this moment, it obviously knew that it could not defeat Jiang Yunhua, so it could only do the next best thing and run away first. The top of Blood Moon Cliff. Wearing a flaming phoenix skirt, she was extremely beautiful, with a phoenix mark appearing between her eyebrows. Jiang Yunhua, who carried endless majesty, was currently playing with a special fruit that looked like a blood moon and exuded terrifying life energy. At her feet, there was a charred black and greatly shrunk corpse of a giant python. Advertisement. From beginning to end, her attention was on the blood moon fruit in her hand. As for a certain big black rat that screams, hee. The life energy contained in this blood moon fruit should be able to take my fire phoenix body to the next level. By then, that woman Bai Ruowei will definitely not be my opponent. This bad woman has been deliberately blocking my communication with Beiyuan, which has prevented my relationship with Beiyuan from taking any further steps. Jiang Yunhua gritted his teeth when he thought of Bai Ruowei. At Donghua Academy before, after Chen Beiyuan passed the Soul Beast Tower, she made an agreement with Chen Beiyuan that she would go to him to detoxify him in the next few days. As a result, Bai Ruowei, a bad woman, actually got in the way and often blocked her in the middle of the road to discuss with her. During that time, Chen Beiyuan was still puzzled that Jiang Yunhua never came to the door, thinking that the sun was coming out from the west. But in fact, not far from the gate of the Chen family, these two goddesses in the eyes of countless men in Yinjing City were entangled with each other and had a passionate fight over a man. The more Jiang Yunhua thought about it, the angrier he became. He felt Nana's pain and his anger grew stronger. That bad woman doesn't use it, so what if she does? At this moment, the bad woman Bai Ruowei, who was longed for by Jiang Yunhua, was on the road to find a second chance. This time she once again conquered a new licking dog. It was a little black tiger with wings. Under the guidance of this little black tiger, Bai Ruowei soon received another special opportunity. It was an inconspicuous special vine growing on a cliff. But if you look closely at this special vine, it actually looks like a dragon, like a wooden dragon. Wood dragon vine. In dragon race, there is a special dragon race called wooden dragon. Wood dragon vine is the body left behind by the degeneration of wood dragon. This object is not afraid of water and fire, can ward off wind and thunder, and can be used as a weapon, turning into a wooden dragon to attack the opponent. It also contains terrifying life energy, which can be used to heal injuries. Good boy, this is the reward you deserve. After Bai Ruowei harvested the wood dragon vine, she poured out a bowl of medicinal wine containing life energy and placed it in front of the little black tiger. She encouraged and praised it, and gently touched its head to show encouragement. Seeing this scene, the boiling bear next to him was so angry that his lungs almost exploded, and he wanted to have S**X with the little black tiger in front of him. Advertisement. Seeing these two brainless things being played with by their master, they played with them as much as they wanted. The snow-white fox standing on Bai Ruowei's shoulder had a look of disdain. Who doesn't know that she is the treasure in the owner's palm? You are right, master. The female fox looked at her master expectantly with wide eyes. However, Bai Ruowei didn't pay any attention to it. Instead, she looked at the wooden whip in her hand and waved it casually, making a huge sound. At this moment, holding the wooden whip, tall and charming, she looked like a noble queen. Suddenly, she seemed to have thought of something, and a trace of expectation and shyness appeared on her face. Beiyuan. If Beiyuan disobeys. Just when she fell into some kind of beautiful fantasy, her expression suddenly changed, as if she had noticed something in advance, and the wooden whip in her hand whipped toward the sky. Roar! The wood dragon vine instantly transformed into a wooden dragon, whose entire body was condensed from giant trees and attacked in a certain direction. Just at this moment, a silvery white light came rapidly from the distance. What the hell? Braga was stunned for a moment, a little confused by the sudden huge wooden dragon. Bang! A big black rat, with a charred body and a big bare tail, was directly knocked out of the silver-white light by the giant wooden dragon and hit the ground hard. Boom, 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 boom. Before a certain dizzy big black mouse could recover, an overwhelming whipping hit him. Half an hour later, Bai Ruowei looked at a hairless wolf tail in the huge pit with an expressionless face, and Braga disappeared without a trace. If Beiyuan hadn't said that he would personally twist off your head, do you really think you could have escaped? Just when Chen Beiyuan and others were looking for an opportunity. The fighting in the Void's secret realm myriad races also started quietly. Unlike Chen Beiyuan, Jiang Yunhua, and Bai Ruowei, who can cheat to search for chance treasures, the other myriad races prodigy do not have this ability. If you want to find the so-called opportunities and treasures, you really have to rely on luck. In comparison, the most important thing is to eliminate other opponents first and obtain enough Void tokens to ensure that you can enter the next round of Void test. Therefore, fighting between each other is naturally inevitable. In the blink of an eye, 3 days passed. Red Dragon Demon Cave. Chen Beiyuan sat cross-legged on the ground. For the past 3 days, he had been guarding the bloody dragon egg in front of him, paying no attention to what was happening in the outside world. If he guessed correctly, the little silly dragon Anu is now in a very special stage, so he must be careful. If he is disturbed, something unpredictable may happen. Anu's transformation should be over today. There's still enough time. Chen Beiyuan's eyes flashed with a divine light. He used Heaven's Child Fortune gazing technique to look at the luck in the sky above the blood-colored dragon egg in front of him and murmured to himself. He raised his eyes and looked at the void list, covering the entire secret realm sky with a trace of ripples in his eyes. In the past 3 days, the competition and fighting in the outside world have been very fierce. Prodigy from all races showed their divine abilities and started fierce fighting, competing for the Void token and chance treasures. Prodigy of all races die almost every day. No matter how powerful you are in the outside world, no one will care about you here. These days, who can come in and haven't clicked on the background yet? Damn or die. Void list. Record the number of Void tokens held by Void walkers. First place, Jiang Yunfan, Human Race Donghua Empire, 98. Second place, Ao Lai, Dragon Race Ferocious Beast, 96. Third place, Tushan Susu, Qingqiu Fox Clan Ferocious Beast, 90. Fourth place, Tina, Night Elf Alien, 78. Fifth place, Wang Daoxian, Human Race Donghua Empire, 69. Sixth place, Lion Caesar, Human Race Bald Eagle Alliance, 65. Seventh place, Bloodbat Aga, Human Race Sunfall Empire, 63. Eighth place, Gar, Human Race Slavic Empire, 61. Ninth place, Bloody Bones, Bloody Torn Alien, 59. Advertisement. 10th place, Yuna Ito, Human Race Sakura Country, 49. 11th place, Wei Wushuang, Human Race Donghua Empire, 48. 21. Bai Ruowei, Human Race Donghua Empire, 28. 23rd. Jiang Yunhua, Human Race Donghua Empire, 25. In just 3 days, no fewer than hundreds of prodigy from all races had fallen. This does not include those who voluntarily gave up the Void Order and quit midway. The Void ranking is refreshed every 24 hours, and each refreshed number indicates that prodigy of all races are being eliminated one after another. Almost none of the top 10 on the Void list are simple things. Each of them has a background that reaches the sky. Most of them are not inferior to me, the young master of the Chen family. This time in the secret realm of the Void, it can be said to be a battle between dragons and tigers. Chen Beiyuan's eyes flashed with a strange color. Zhang Yunfan, who is number 1 on the Void ranking, won't talk about it. Ao Lai, who ranks second on the Void ranking, is the direct bloodline of a dragon emperor on Wanlong Island. Wanlong Island is a terrorist force that is even larger than the Donghua Empire. Tushan Su Su, who is ranked third on the Void ranking, is from the Qingqiu Fox clan, and his power is so unfathomable that even Dragon Race must be afraid of him. However, although the Qingqiu Fox clan belongs to the Ferocious Beast clan, they have a good relationship with the human race. Tina, who ranks fourth on the Void ranking, is the King clan of the Night Elves. The Night Elves are also among the top existences among foreign races. They have even established a country in Western Europe and are a headache for all major overseas countries. Among the top 10 of the entire Void ranking, only Zhang Yunfan and Wang Daoxian from the Donghua Empire squeezed in, and the rest were almost outside the top 10. Of course, Bai Ruowei and Zhang Yunhua, the two lucky heroines, were originally qualified to compete for the top 10 positions. However, during this period of time, they have spent most of their time looking for chance treasures to improve themselves and have not invested much time in the Void Order. Chen Beiyuan predicts that under his control during this period, the strength of the two women will definitely improve a lot. If they want to compete for the top 10 on the Void list, the two of them will definitely get an extremely high position. The higher the ranking on the Void ranking, the more rewards you can get from the Void Temple. Chen Beiyuan also found his ranking at the bottom of the Void list at this moment. 1007th place. Chen Beiyuan, Human Race Donghua Empire, 1. This is not surprising. He stayed in the Red Dragon Demon Cave for 3 consecutive days without ever going out. He still only had a Void token on his body. In this case, being at the bottom is normal. Advertisement. He is still $19 away from the next round of tests in the Temple of the Void. If you don't get 19 Void tokens within the remaining 4 days, I'm afraid he will be excluded from Void's secret realm and directly eliminated. In fact, as the young master of the Chen family, Chen Beiyuan became the focus of many interested people after entering the Void's secret realm. In the eyes of many people, with Chen Beiyuan's strength, he is definitely a strong contender for the top 10 in the Void ranking, or even very high up there. As a result, after 3 days, Chen Beiyuan, who was still far away from the top 1,000 people, undoubtedly caused quite a stir, except for a few people who know his true strength. In the eyes of prodigy from other clans, he, the young master of the Chen family who has become famous during this period, is obviously not worthy of his reputation, and many people are even ready to see his jokes. Chen Beiyuan knew this very well, but he didn't care at all. The sparrow knows the ambition of the swan. Useless arguments will only waste time. Only facts can make some people's faces look bad. Hurry, hurry. Chen Beiyuan walked up to the blood-colored dragon egg, stretched out his hand, and stroked the rough eggshell, feeling the strong heartbeat inside. A look of anticipation appeared on his face. According to his calculations, the transformation of the little silly dragon Anu is about to end. Yes, it's just transformation. This little silly dragon has been transforming in the past 3 days. Normally, ferocious beasts need to reach the 7th grade before they can transform. Of course, some ferocious beasts with special bloodlines and extraordinary talents do not have such restrictions, and can even transform when they are born. Normally, with the terrifying talent of the little silly dragon, he would have been able to transform long ago. However, under the care of Chen Beiyuan, this guy is eating so well. Every meal is high-level ferocious beast meat, high-level ferocious beast blood, and occasionally some high-level ferocious beast milk, Beiyuan essence. In just a few months, I was eating a lot of nutrients. The energy that had been sleeping all the time before was accumulated in the digestion body. Now it is almost digested and has finally begun to transform. I just don't know what this little silly dragon will look like after it transforms. Click, click. Under Chen Beiyuan's expectant gaze, cracks began to appear on the bloody dragon egg in front of him. The little silly dragon Anu finally started to transform. This should be the first one in the author's works. None of the previous silly dogs had ever transformed.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe.